Hello, Internet. It is I, Malik Aaron, and welcome back to Box Office Predictions. Today we're going to be talking about Belfast. And look, I know this movie is technically not a wide release. All right, it's limited now. It's in like 588 theaters, just below wide. I understand that, but here's the thing: this movie is supposed to expand wide on Thanksgiving, yeah, Thanksgiving weekend, which would be on a Wednesday. And looking at Thanksgiving, there's already four wide releases that day. Well, at least that Wednesday, because Thanksgiving's the next day. But still, for the whole 5 day weekend, it starts Wednesday. We got Encanto, For Love of Money, House of Gucci, and Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City. I do not feel like covering five movies at once. Four is bad enough, but five, no. I do not want a repeat of Halloween weekend where I covered five movies back to back to back to back to back. It wore me the hell out. And plus, I'm mentally preparing myself for the Christmas period because I know it's going to be a hot mess. A real hot mess. Because I have to do Spider-Man No Way Home, and then Wednesday, The Kingsman, Matrix Resurrections, and Sing 2. I don't think I'll cover the Tender Bar. And then Friday, Christmas Eve, apparently Licorice Pizza expands wide. And then Christmas Day, the next day, I have to do American Underdog and a journal for Jordan. All that in the span of 8 days. Like, no. Oh, I'm gonna hate it. So yeah, I'm doing this now to avoid just a lot of unnecessary headaches later on. All right. So anywho, so as usual, we're gonna be going over the pros and cons. So let's get to it. Pros, I don't know. I mean the reviews are quite good. Let me look them up. I'm using my laptop for this off screen. I believe they're in the 80s, are they? Yes, it's in the 86%, which is pretty good. I mean, it's not amazing, but it's still up there, especially for like a bunch of movies that have come out this year. Its reviews are definitely one of the highest of the bunch. So, yeah, reviews, I would consider that a pro. Uh Damn. Well, what else can I say for pros? Now I know the director of this movie, Kenneth Branagh. Branagh can never pronounce this dude's name right. He's made several big hits throughout his career. I mean, he did the first Thor, he did the 2015 Cinderella, and he did Murder on the Orient Express. All made money. And he's supposed to do Death on the Nile. Not sure how he's gonna do that with the Army Hammer situation. I don't even know. Did they cut him out of the movie? I don't know. If they didn't, it's gonna be super awkward. But oh wait, he did Artemis Fowl. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, he's made some hits, but I guess we can consider this a con too. He made Artemis Fowl. That is a permanent stain on his career, in my opinion. He, you will never come back from making Artemis Fowl. That's a sin. That's a cinematic sin in my eyes. So, yeet. But yeah, he made hits before, so I consider it a relative pro. Although he did make Artemis Fowl, and I will never forgive him for doing that. For causing us all so much. I actually haven't seen Artemis Fowl. I never want to. Why the hell would I put myself through that? Like, are you mad? The cast isn't that great. I mean, the biggest names here are Judi Dench and Jamie Dornan. Jamie Dornan, most of you know him as Christian Grey in the 50 Shades of Grey trilogy, which is not something I want to be remembered for, personally. And then Judi Dench, she's been around for a long time. She's been in just about anything. I think, was she also in Artemis Fowl? I think she was. Let me check. Yes, she was. She was in Artemis Fowl. And Cats, too. And, like, Judy, what are you doing? What? Why? You make Cats and Artemis Fowl back to back. That's. You have to be on some serious drugs to think that would be a good idea. But, yeah, the cast is pretty meh. It's not going to drive anyone to see the movie. So, I want. Well, I guess that would be more of a con, really. So that's a con. But for other cons, this movie screams. It just screams Oscar bait. It's like it's tattooed to its forehead. Like that's how like unsubtle it is about what the movie is. And for those of you who are curious, what is Oscar bait? Well, Oscar bait is a movie that was specifically designed and created to win awards. And usually to qualify as an Oscar bait movie, you need a few things. You need to be a biopic. that's that's Oscar baiting number chapter 1. Chapter 2, it needs to have relevant themes, right? 3, you need to have like a strong performance from a certain actor. Okay, it's number 3. Number 4, I don't know. These days, political messaging can help you win awards. It won't help your box office, but it'll help with awards. And this, it's based off Kenneth Branagh cannot pronounce his name. His childhood, so it's like a semi biography, or yes, a semi biography. So I count it as biopic. So it's definitely Oscar bait in my eyes. And that could be a turnoff for some people. Sometimes Oscar movies, not a lot of them do great. The ones that do great are the ones that appeal outside of the awards group, the general audience. I don't think this is gonna do that. So yeah, I think the Oscar baiting is gonna hurt this movie more than help it. So I consider that a con. The fact that it's blatant Oscar bait. Con number 2. Well, I already mentioned the cast being a bit of a con. So this technically, that was con number 2. Con number 3 is the style of this movie. It's in black and white. Like I know some people like black and white. They like it from a stylistic standpoint. But majority of people would rather watch their movies in color. I don't think that's a controversial statement. Most people would prefer to watch movies in color. And yes, I know there have been some movies in the past few years that have used black and white. I know the Justice League Snyder Cut had a black and white version. I know that. But for the most part, black and white movies are just a hard sell nowadays because, again, people like colors. They like seeing colors other than black and white. They like seeing red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. We can go on and on from there. So yeah, I think the stylistic choice is gonna turn off a lot of mainstream moviegoers. They're not gonna like it very much, or it just doesn't appeal to them. So I consider it a con. The stylistic choice of being black and white is a con. Con number 4. I'm losing count. Con number 4. Competition is gonna be fierce when it goes wide on Thanksgiving, because as I already said, and you already seen too, this movie has to go up head to head with Encanto, House of Gucci, Resident Evil, and not to mention movies coming out next week. Ghostbusters Afterlife and King Richard. Not to mention other movies like Eternals and Clifford. It's gonna be too much, and in these situations where there's a ton of movies coming out at once, odds are a few of them will fall through the cracks, and I think this is gonna fall through the cracks. So, yeah, I mean, not the movie's fault, but it's more of a situational thing. So, I would consider that a con. Bad timing and lots of competition on the way. That's gonna basically pushed out. And don't even get me started about December. Like the amount of movies that are gonna come out in the next few weeks is gonna be mental. So yeah, competition, overwhelming competition is gonna kill it. So I would consider that a con. All right, I think that's it for pros and cons. Opening weekend, because this is technically limited ish. I'm going to say like the main number now is like $1 million. I think it can reach that. Oh wait, what happened? Ugh, don't know why that happened. I think it'll reach $1 million. I think that's reasonable enough. Although I didn't even mention how like the art house crowd has been kind of slow coming back. I mean, sure we had the French Dispatch, but that's about it. That's about it when it comes to art house fare. So I don't know if they're willing to go out and see this. But I'm gonna say $1 million just to be safe. $1 million opening weekend. And this final prediction includes its, further expansion on Thanksgiving. I'm gonna say between 10 to 15 million. I could be wrong. It could do better than that. It could do a whole lot worse. Although considering what's been going on recently, uh I think I'm gonna have to go with the it could be worse option. But I'm still gonna go with 10 to 15 million total. And then that'll be it. So that was Belfast. Now, next weekend. Oof, it's gonna be something. Because on the 19th, we get to talk about Ghostbusters Afterlife. That's gonna be a long video. We have a lot to discuss regarding Ghostbusters Afterlife. And also, we have to talk about King Richard, the second to last movie, a part of the HBO Max experiment. So that's going to be something. And then 5 days after that, Thanksgiving. It begins on Wednesday. At least the Thanksgiving box office begins on Wednesday when we have to do Encanto, For Love of Money, House of Gucci, and Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City. And then that'll be it for November. And then we go to December, which, ooh, I'm not looking forward to that month at all. But we'll get there when we get there. All right. So yeah, that's it. That's all. Make sure to subscribe, like this video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, share the whole drill. Want to check out more videos like this? I got a playlist on the homepage with all previous prediction videos I made this year. I guess if you want like the art house movies, I did French Dispatch. I did darn, what else did I do? I guess Last Night in Soho would count. So I did those two and probably some others. So if you want to watch those, you can go right ahead. It's also the canceled series where I go over all the movies that were supposed to come out but didn't. I just did an episode about Transformers 7 and the new Star Trek movie, both coming out in 2023. One got delayed, one got added on. So if you want to know my thoughts on those and all the other canceled episodes, because there's now 88 of them, want to watch them all, you can go right ahead. There's also box office recaps where I go over the box office results for any particular month. November recap will come out first week of December, probably mid second week of December, right before West Side Story. But if you want to watch any of the past recap videos I've done, including the one I did recently about October of 2021, you can go right ahead. And yeah, that's it. That's all. I am out. Goodbye.